You know who Doctor Who is? That ultimate time traveler of the past. He said that I can actually encompass our train into his tortoise of travel. So here we go. But let's do it slowly, safely, as I said. Let's go back in little pieces. How many of you remember the year 1960? Some of you, maybe. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 8 years old. Young boy, having fun, right here in this area. Over here behind that stainless steel cross that we passed, I was over there fishing with my dad and my grandfather. What a beautiful time in my life. This road, a two-lane road, Lime Rock Road if you will. Most of these buildings here were not even here yet. That was just in 1960. Mosquitoes. Well, about that size, wasn't too bad. Look at the snakes and some gators running around, maybe some hogs. So what in the world would the King of Spain want with this area 457 years ago? Them great big old ugly lizards that we call gators today. Snakes, bears. Put them on their boat to do what? Take it back to the King of Spain? One of them got so excited, made a military helmet out of that rough hide of that gator. Even cooked that gator tail and said, look at here, that's some good food. Took it back. Was somebody dying of yellow fever? Your body temperature, 105, 106 degrees. Your kidneys would shut down. You become yellow and jaundice and go into a real deep coma. Much like you do with the COVID-19 today. What does the doctors do at that time? They were scared. Rightfully so. They are today also. What do? If you went into a coma, they said you're going to ultimately die anyways. So to keep the disease from spreading, they buried you in these shallow graves over here to the right. But the doctors were smart. They tied a string to your finger, ran it to the top of the grave with a bell on it. If you should ever wake up out of that coma and pull that string and ring that bell, that grave watcher would go right over there and take you out and say, Doctor, this one here has been saved by the bell. That is a true story. Yeah. That's exactly where that saying comes from. It is called the Mousetrap bell ringing tower. It's about a lady. She did catch the yellow fever. Her daughter pleaded, please do not bury her. She's in a coma. She will survive. 4 weeks later, she secretly went out there in the middle of the night, on a night like tonight, and dug her up. And come to find out, she actually tried to claw her way out and could not do it. Oh. True story. But the wind did blow some of the bells, and they were considered to be nothing but good ringers at that time. When we pull into this parking lot over here, this is a very important area. I want you guys to imagine and sit back at this time and enjoy the time travel.
Yeah. A palm tree growing out of an oak tree.
Two supporting each other. The story now has it this. If you should ever get a kiss or a hug or a handshake from your best friend or your significant other in and around that tree, you guys are destined to be together forever. Forever. You know, I don't come from the state of Missouri. I'm Spanish and Italian. You gotta prove it to this old boy. Well, my daughter's youngest one, she was 6 years old at that time. Got told her raised 5 girls. She was over here with me and her mother. She was 6 years old. Her mother says, boy, I don't believe none of that. That's an old wives' tale. That's some of that foolishness that you always talk about. My daughter says, Daddy, I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a kiss. She turned 21 this past January and graduated from Mount Lizard School down here in Gainesville. And guess where she's still at today? Come on, guys. You know it, at home with Daddy. Okay? That's right. But you know, Mama didn't believe, right? You just let it run with you because it's probably true. She ain't at home. Anyways, this is the north line, the Cuba line, because over here to the left is the north gates. This was the only entrance in and out of the city at that time to protect and defend your historical town. Because when we look back to the right over here, look down this street as we slowly go past it. 457 years of your family history starts right here today, all the way to the Catholic Church. 12 blocks of it. Take the journey.
Yeah. That's
you're
a
riding with me
good. That's a
today,
good
I'm
spot.
going to take you right down into the
Stores
middle of it
Stuff of it.
and let you experience both sides, the left and the right.
Sit
This
down,
is a
John.
modern road, this is true. But don't let that confuse you, because we are still in the historical city. Because over here to the left is the Castillo De San Marcos. That fort represents the northeast corner of the historical city. So all this area back in here to the right is our town, your town. If you look real closely over there, that fort was built in the year 1565. Took about 20 years to complete. It is made out of solid coquina, virtually impossible to penetrate the walls, and has never been captured in battle. If you look over there, you'll see a great big old white flag with the red X in it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not the Confederate flag. That's not even the Florida State flag. That is the King of Spain's battle flag. Because he has vowed his solemn promise right now. Because if you look over here to the left, that is the Atlantic Ocean. 1,600 miles due east is the country of Spain. If there should ever be another pirate ship or an ill-wisher to come into this area, he will come back over here, man his cannons, activate his military, and help us support and defend your city of St. Augustine. Over here to the left, the Lions Bridge, built in the year 1927.
This is the Lions Bridge.
It is considered to be an original scissor jack type bridge, which means it is still open and closed manually by human hands still today.
Scissor jack.
It is opened every 30 minutes on the weekend. We are going to be going down a road called Hippolyta. Hippolyta is a town over in Italy where our patron saint, St. Augustine, was born and raised in. When we come down through here, I promise you right now, this is not Disney World. This is not Busch Gardens, Cedar Key, Cedar Point, Wild Adventures, the Jersey Shores, or even Palisade Park in California. This is a real, true, living, historical town. Hey guys. Look at what's happening. The backyard of Mayhan's, providing the same type of atmosphere and dining and lunch and dinner as they did over 400 years ago. Outside, family and friends. Back to the left, back to the right. More homes, more businesses. Beautiful thing of the passenger pleasures right here in front of us, unfolding. A boarding house over here to the right. A hotel room. Down here on the bottom, tobacco products, a convenience store. Over here to the left, sweet milk, milkshakes, ice cream. What is that called? A Dairy Queen? Passenger present. How about the doctor's office, massages, and acupuncture? Over here to the right, the beautiful couple is enjoying each other's love on the outside.
Why?
Like they did over 400 years ago. Very romantic area for
Wow.
friends and family
Sorry, y'all.
to enjoy each other. You know, guys, St. Augustine is a romantic town. It's Spanish and Italian. Enjoy your family presence.
Yes, he did.
And guys, I know we got us a man's cave. And ladies, I promise you, I know the she shed does exist. Remember, I did raise 5 girls, so I know there's a room that they all go to, if anything, just to get away from this crazy train driver up front. Because over here to the right, the ultimate man's cave. That's where the men would come and get information from around the world. Over here to the right, and you still have people walking down the middle of the street just like they were TikToking back in. I love them. I caught you, didn't I? Because back over here to the right is the Hispanic Gardens, dedicated to Queen Isabella 57 years ago at our 400th birthday. You know, things haven't changed in the past, guys. It really hasn't. They still walk down the middle of the street just totally oblivious about what's going on. Back to the left and to the right, you are now in the center of your historical district of 457 years. Back to the right is the north gate, so we just passed. Back to the left would be the gap, the church, and the governor's house. Take the journey of your family life, because it does start here today. Over here to the right where you see the balloons out, another good representation of the past. It's a mercantile store. Snakeskins, alligator hides, felts, pearls, furs. Today, fine silk, fine linen, fine fabric. The past and the present.
Oh, that is a cute dress.
Back to the left and to the right, you even have the sidewalk entertainment as you would back at that time. To the left, to the right, you have homes, businesses. People are born here, raised here,
Yes, no.
go to school here. A lot of them didn't actually be here all of their lives. Spices and teas to the left, from the Caribbean. Wine and cheese over here to the right, also. You know, we always talk about the start of a new day, the beautiful time, sun rising. What a better place to have breakfast if not outside underneath the rising sun. Because over here to the left is that beautiful place to do it at. The first coffee or the first bit of tea right here. Over here to the right, another beautiful place called Scarlett O'Hara's to have lunch and dinner. You know, Scarlett actually still lives upstairs. She's come down here once in a while to sing and dance for you. Here about 2 weeks ago, she was here for about 4 hours because I was here. The sad part about it is that she was murdered over 100 years ago. But the Ghost Rider does still see when they're along. We are coming out of the 1500s. Now maybe into the middle 1800s, early 1900s. See if we can find out just a little bit more about that guy, Mr. Henry Flagler. Not only was he a very good businessman, or an entrepreneur as we call him today, he was very family oriented. He loved his friends and his family and his associations throughout town. He helped build the Grace United Church over here to the right-hand side. Matter of fact, it was so important that Mr. Flagler did that he actually helped the Baptists build their first ancient city Baptist church right here in St. Augustine. Can you imagine? The ancient city Baptist church opened for services in the year 1887. Painted. That's right. Never been painted since it was built. Matter of fact, it wasn't even painted then. We have a lot of iron and sulfur in our water. When it's mixed with the concrete, that is the natural color that it would dry.
Ancient City Baptist Church.
Talk about maintenance free. Oh my goodness gracious. Look out. Here we go. Well, you know, Mr. Flagler did have a lot of respect for the family. Ohio, Cincinnati, where he came from. It says, Dear Henry, it is so sorrowful that we have to inform you that your daughter, General Louise, has become deathly sick, and even though she is pregnant, has passed away. Not only did that happen, but so did
it is? Yeah.
Entombed and enshrined, right now, behind those doors and windows, is his daughter, General Louise, his grandbaby, Margaret, Mr. Flagler, and Mrs. Flagler. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a living tribute to the Flagler family here in St. Augustine. Last time I checked, it was still open to the public, but you must contact the church to set up a reservation to come visit. Well, Mr. Flagler did have a little bit of a happier segment of his life, because over here to the left, you'll see the beautiful Ponce Hotel. It is considered to be the Flagler College today, but in the year 1888, Mr. Flagler did create the ultimate 5-star winter resort. It had everything except Wi-Fi and cable TV. That's right. It even had electricity. Mr. Flagler built a building over here, provided Mr. Edison a place to put his generating plant in here to provide electricity to the hotel. 260 rooms approximately, 260 fireplaces, indoor lighting, indoor hot and cold running water, indoor bathrooms. The ultimate 5-star winter resort. It was so amazing at that time that we actually had power lights inside of this hotel 4 years before our own nation's capital did in Washington, D.C. Could that be why the politicians are always in the dark and we're not? You take it for what it's worth. You got to have a little bit of gesture about the past and the present, because if you don't, you will never be able to create your own personal future.